Yeah, but you're going to want to sit how we had the chair. Because otherwise you'll be side viewed on the thing.
Am I supposed to be hearing something?
Hey, Chad, we don't have program.
Is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision overhead garage door service. Call 256-400-4500.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Straddle Wreck eastbound on 565, just as you come up Chapman Mountain. That one's got a vehicle that's overturned or up on its side. At least one injury there, and I'm getting reports of patches of ice on the mountain, so you want to be very careful approaching now. Save 25% off the Wise membership fees and become a healthier you in 22. No joining fee at any branch or YMCAHuntsville.org. Captain Nick in the Jordan Lane Popeye Skywatch Traffic Center.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Monday night, expect a clear sky, low temperatures falling into the mid and upper 20s for the overnight. We could also see gusty winds as high as 25 miles per hour. For your Tuesday, plenty of sunshine, high temperatures topping out in the upper 40s for the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The Burgers VSiN action update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
The playoffs begin this week in the AFC wildcard Saturday. The Raiders getting 6.5 at the Bengals. The Bills minus 4.5 at home against the Patriots. Then Sunday, the Steelers plus 13 at the Chiefs. Also Sunday in the NFC wildcard, the Eagles plus 9 at Tampa Bay, the Niners plus at Dallas, and next Monday, the Rams a 4-point home favorite against the Cardinals. College football, the CFP National Championship game tonight in Indianapolis. Alabama going for their 6th title in 11 years. Georgia looking for their first since 1980. The Bulldogs, as they were in the SEC Championship game, a favorite tonight, minus 2.5, 52.5 the over-under. I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. Welcome to Talkin Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond to the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now. 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
And just like that, we are off and running. It is another brand new live edition of Talkin Ball, and we are live on the road this morning. Despite it feeling like 5 degrees outside, yes, I said 5 degrees outside. It is cold. We are here in Noblesville, Indiana, on the road, coming to you live from Uptown Cafe, and it is right along Main Street. And let me tell you, when you think of local cafes,
Jeff from the borough,
when you think of quality stuff, this is exactly what comes to your mind.
It really is. Your head.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it is. You know, this is the way you do it. You know, you go local. We are the king of local radio and sports talk in the Rocket City of Huntsville and really in North Alabama and Madison County. And what we want to do is we want to go local when we're on the road.
Yep.
And that's what we're doing here at the Uptown Cafe here this morning. Jonathan, this great staff here have been really hospitable toward us, and they've got some great food and drink, and of course we're partaking in that, and we will continue to.
Yes.
But, right now it feels like it's 8 degrees outside, but certainly in
8,
here,
you're giving it too much.
It's nice and warm in here though, with a lot of great hospitality here in Noblesville, Indiana, and it's a big game tonight. About 30 minutes up the road in Indianapolis, but we've really enjoyed being on the road this week, and we appreciate our sponsors that have made it possible. And of course, we want to, give a shout out to Steve Moulton, our resourceful on the site producer, and Chad Guathy back at the ranch. Wouldn't be possible without all these folks doing their job.
Need to thank SportsMed Orthopedic and Spine Center Surgery for helping us get here, as well as Hometown Lenders. Got to thank those two. And, of course, University Kia, because they made Talking Ball, gave us the vehicle for Talking Ball to get up here. So big thanks to University Kia, SportsMed, and Lenders for making this one possible. Alluded to it, tonight is the night. The SEC guaranteed another national championship. And I was going vlogs, Drew, and the best that I can find is that the SEC has claimed, and I guess you have to throw in now, when I was looking at this, they counted Arkansas and they counted all these. The SEC has won 43 national championships in college football. 43 national championships. According to the NCAA logs, this is the NCAA logs, not what schools do. Alabama will be going for their 17th national championship, according to the NCAA, which is second most in college football, according to the NCAA. The greatest football program of all time, according to the NCAA, is the Yale Bulldogs, who have 18 national championships.
And this is another reason Mark Emmert and the NCAA should be moron of the year with the way they count all this crap. Shut up. That's not the case. Morons.
Oh.
If they
be
win
number
this,
2, the first 19.
Well, I know they were Wally Butts in contention, and Coach Pat Dye played there, but this would be number 2 for the Georgia Bulldogs. One of the greatest teams in SEC history when they had Herschel, and Herschel.
Yep.
He still may be the greatest player in SEC history. Much like when you see the NFL rank the greatest players of all time, and Jim Brown is still thought to by many to be the greatest player of all time. With his impact in the professional ranks, Herschel was the same way in college.
Right.
He completely elevated the Georgia program, won the national championship under Vince Dooley. He basically turned Dooley into a legend. He'll be there tonight in Indianapolis, so it could be some history for the Georgia Bulldogs. It would enable Kirby Smart, to be a legend in Athens, and much the way Mark Richt won 2 SEC titles and ended up coaching 15 years. When Vince Dooley won the national title, that basically ensured he would retire a Bulldog. Well, if this happens with Kirby and he wins it tonight over his mentor, then I think it will cement him. He can stay in Athens as long as he wants. I don't care about the climate. I know it's different, and I know if you lose 3 or 4, you do the Ed Ogeron and you implode, or the Gene Chizik, you can get fired in 2 years. I don't think Kirby will do that, and I think Kirby will be able to finish his career in Athens. If he can just deliver 1 title, he will never buy a drink. He will never buy food in the state of Georgia ever again.
Kirby is 46 years of age. When Nick Saban was 46, he was 28-16 and 0-3 in bowl games. Nick Saban did not win his first national championship until he was at the age of 52.
Yeah,
so if you're looking at comparisons, Kirby Smart still.
If he can get over the hump, it's going to start. They're going to be like, he's the next Saban. He's fixing to dominate, and we'll see. I'll say this: no matter what happens tonight, Alabama's going nowhere. I think Alabama's going to be the preseason number 1 team in the country next year, because I think they're gonna continue to pilfer the portal and make Mike Florio and all these other morons in the media look stupid who continue to have bad takes. No, I just can't deal with the rules. He just can't. Shut up. You don't know anything about football. Go clean Joe's bathroom, for crying out loud. That's all you've been doing. I just don't respect for you. I don't think he knows all that much. This is not. I'll take Adam Schefter. Okay, that's
right.
who from our parent company. I'll stick with him and Mort. But I mean, I'm just telling you. But again, and if Nick Saban wins this, I mean, then they'll start talking about can he three-peat, because he had a chance to do it in 13, and we know what happened in the kick 6. But they will be, because that's never really been done, I guess, since Oklahoma. I'll have to go back and look at that in the 40s and 50s.
Outside of the Alabama program, if Nick Saban wins tonight, how much chat is going to be done?
I'm not, because you covered them,
right?
But there was an erroneous report put out on some Iowa website. I guess it was Rivals, saying that he was telling everybody around him.
Yeah, that was a joke site. That was not even a real site.
Yeah,
I saw
that he's. I got sent to people. Is there any? I'm like, absolutely not. I said
that's not even a real.
All I said was like clockwork. He's always come out near see retire.
A parody site that puts that.
The more I've covered Nick Saban, I see him being like Coach Bowden. And what I mean by that is, I hope it doesn't end like it did for Coach Bowden. It tailed off.
Right.
But I don't see him wanting to quit coaching. And to be honest with you, I think you would agree with me. Coach Bowden didn't want to retire when he was made to retire.
Downhill recruiting, and anything else. Nick Saban has said he is not going to let that happen.
A better comparison, Scott, and of course he had 2 stints in his career at the school, would be Bill Snyder. Okay. Bill Snyder coached into his late 70s. I think he was maybe, or even early 80s, before Coach Snyder retired from K-State. And I see Saban grinding like that.
There is a streak, by the way. You remember that? You know what I'm talking about when I say streak? Alabama has not an SEC East team in 34 times.
Take the night.
So 34 wins straight against SEC East teams. Track at home, it's 12 straight against Tennessee, 6 against Florida, 4 against Missouri, 3 against Kentucky, Vanderbilt, 1 against South Carolina, and 6 against Georgia. So they get to 7 to make that number 7 tonight. What's Alabama going to have to do differently than they did the SEC championship? Because it's going to do things probably a little different. What is it going to have to do? Well,
let's not. Now, I mean, because of Mechie, but again, I've been harping on this. They were without Mechie the staff for the last, so they've already been a little bit with that. Could he play a role? Do I think he's going to play a huge? But what I'm talking about is, what if he 3 passes? I mean, and he hasn't caught a pass in a game that meant something yet. But what if he had a Norwood moment? We've been talking about a Norwood moment, somebody coming out of nowhere to, kind of leave a legacy or begin one. Norwood began it in the national championship against LSU, went on to become a clutch receiver for Alabama, played a little bit in the NFL, and is now on Billy Napier's staff at Louisiana and could be going with him to Florida. I don't know the dynamics with that, but still.
We got a lot of Facebook Live stuff going on right now. We're going to get to all that hopefully here throughout the show. I know Derek Gardner has some questions on Facebook Live. He also put on there, let's hope for 2 big things today. A Bama win and Jeff lost his phone.
we've been through your state of Kentucky. We know you live in Tennessee and through Kentucky.
I'm glad y'all made it through. And don't freeze it. It's just 8 degrees. You put some more layers on it. Get you a couple of layers in the coat, okay?
Look, I'm telling you what. Yes, I grew up in the Midwest, okay? I grew up in this stuff, but I've been in Alabama 20 years now. I walked outside this morning, and it's darn right cold. I don't like it.
Well,
I'm done.
Well, don't go to Indianapolis, and you ain't got to go.
Well, they didn't need to put the game here in Indianapolis. They could have put it somewhere else.
Nobody forced you to go. Oh, well. We rip that roof off. We have ice bowl part 2 is what we do. Like Green Bay, -15.
I'm looking forward to seeing the stadium, Jeff.
Yeah,
myself.
I mean, look, it's been a fun time, Jeff, and it's been cold. But I tell you what, it's we've said this all along. The people here in Indianapolis have been so phenomenal. They've been so gracious. Everywhere we've gone, people have been, very awesome. They have been awesome. I feel bad because of the weather, because they did host the Super Bowl up here, and people were talking about how awesome it was and everybody being outside in that February, because they said they had unusually warm weather during the time when they hosted the Super Bowl. The other night, Saturday night, downtown, there was music. There were supposed to be bands. There were supposed to be all this great stuff, and we get freezing rain. And so I feel bad for the people here, because they have done a phenomenal rolling out the red carpet. Mother Nature hasn't cooperated.
Well, I'll just say I don't know what the TV rating's going to be, but we'll find out, I guess. But they're going to play it up here anyway. So, but guys, what about the basketball there? All the top teams losing to Kansas, Duke, Alabama, Tennessee.
It was a crazy weekend. Basketball's weird, Jeff. You know how that is. You can lose to anyone on any given night. And I just think overreact sometimes to those losses, because basketball is a marathon, not a sprint. About almost how do you deal with adversity, how you learn from losses, and you want to be playing your best basketball February into March.
It's a good thing the SEC has the SEC Big 12 Challenge in the middle of the season to help their RPI because of these slow starts.
They can play defense there. It's Georgia's terrible. It's like like I say, they're the worst. And Missouri's not much better. But see, guys, the difference is it's not early in the basketball season. The season's half over. That's the problem with the South. They don't start talking about it until January. The season's half over with. It starts in November, not January. That's the problem. Okay, that's the way it's always going to be. The SEC football king and basketball second fiddle. And it's always going to be that way.
Well, when the SEC doesn't have a team playing in the national championship game, and we don't have to talk about SEC football until January, that won't change.
I know it. Y'all have a good day. See y'all.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Jeff. Whatever.
That was enlightening, riveting, and everything all in one.
Yeah.
Sorry, Derek. Jeff didn't lose his phone today.
No, he didn't.
All right, we got to get our first break in, because when we come back, we're going to talk college football national champ. It's a big game inside Lucas Oil Stadium tonight. 97.7 ESPN Zone will be there. We'll let you know.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Got a wreck in the number 1 lane, eastbound, coming up Chapman Mountain on 565. Vehicle on its side there apparently got some ice on the roadway that may have caused that wreck. So be very careful there. Move to the right to get around it. Now we get a report of a second wreck. This one is westbound on top of the mountain, Highway 7. I don't have an injury report coming out of that one as of yet. Stall tractor trailer indicator 67 in Spiegel. Routine care to heart failure. Dr. Randall Burns and the team of heart specialists have the expertise to care for all matters of the heart. Captain Nick in the Jordan Lane Popeye Skywatch Traffic Center.
Hometown's founded right here in North Alabama on old school principles. We like to call them the 4 Ps. The best products, the best processes, competitive pricing, and of course, the best people. It's why we're one of America's fastest growing mortgage lenders. We're now adding a 5th P, promise. If we don't close on time, you don't pay a dime. Yes, you heard that right. On time, every time, or we refund 100% of our fees.
Have exactly the right new car or truck with the exact features that you want and nothing else? Well, with Ford, we can promise you just that. Hey, Bobby White back again. You can now factory order Renew today, and you'll get your new car or truck exactly the way you want it. And there's no extra cost to come order. Plus, you get $1,000 off MSRP on top of any additional rebates. This applies to 2021 F-150, Explorer, Ranger, and Expedition. It's a win-win with a custom order at Woody Anderson Ford. You get the colors, the features, and the options that fit your life. You get notified when it's built, shipped, and ready to deliver. Listen, buying a new car or truck is likely the second largest investment you'll ever make. So why settle? Get exactly what you want with a custom factory order today and get $1,000 off MSRP. See how at WoodyAndersonFord.com or at the corner of Jordan Lane and Sparkman Drive. Hope to see you soon.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Who hasn't felt protective lately of our families, our communities, our resources? In times like these, we all fight to make sure our people are safe. But at the American Cancer Society, our people, our community, our family is made up of millions of cancer patients and their families. So keeping them safe takes everyone's help. During COVID-19, help us keep vital resources available to cancer patients. Please donate to the American Cancer Society at cancer.org.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well-trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
If you're ready to lower your utility, time to call Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic insulation, insulation removal, wall and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, here letting you know we are proud supporters of Alabama A&M University football. Stop into University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including the all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5 and new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com and view all our great offers and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today. Because we want to see ya in the Kia. Oh, Bulldogs.
I want to thank you.
Thank you for making us your number one choice for sports talk in North Alabama.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
977 ESPN.
Hey, I've been trying. He's busy. He's got a busy line. Keep trying.
This is Eli Gold, voice of the Alabama Crimson
Chad,
Tide.
you might want to just wait till 8:30. I told him 8:30. He's probably
and Drew DeArmond on your home for Crimson
just
Tide
give it about
Sports 97.7
Okay, no problem.
Zone. Bowl Tide.
Welcome back to Talking Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. We are live on this Monday morning on the road in Noblesville, Indiana. We are here at Uptown Cafe ahead of tonight's national championship game, folks. Let me tell you what, if you are us and you are waking up in the Indianapolis area, if you are listening to us via the stream, if you are listening to us on Facebook Live or Twitter or Twitch, or to Uptown Cafe, if you're trying to find the breakfast ahead of tonight's national championship game, because they have a little bit of everything here, and I mean everything here. They have got breakfast bowls, they've got omelets, they've got eggs Benedict, they've got breakfast sandwiches, breakfast burritos, they've got pancakes,
freshly squeezed orange juice.
They've got freshly squeezed orange juice. They've got a little bit of everything here at Uptown Cafe. And let me tell you, it is phenomenal. Just wish the weather, I could say, is the same. It's not. What we can talk about is yesterday, both head coaches did meet with the media. Virtually, though, that thing this year is the fact that everything going into the season had been, all press conferences were starting to return to normal. We were seeing everybody back in front of everything. But we've gone virtual again, and that's no difference here from the SEC Championship to everything is virtual, including yesterday's coaches' press conferences. Here's Nick Saban talking about Bryce Young, Drew, and his development.
Well, Bryce does about as good a job as anybody we've ever had in our program in terms of how he prepares for a game, how he studies the other team, how he sort of knows the ins and outs of what we want to try to execute and what we want to try to do on offense. He's well liked by his teammates. He's a leader. And, you know, he's got sort of a emotional stability about him that he doesn't really get frustrated or, upset in any kind of way, even when things don't go well. He's can sort of stay focused and keep doing what he thinks he needs to do to be able to have success, make adjustments, adapt to what he needs to do. He's a very, very mature guy, way beyond his years in terms of how he views what he needs to do to be successful, and he's pretty committed to it and has a pretty single-minded purpose in trying to get it done, and I think it does affect other players on the offensive side of the ball.
That was Alabama head coach Nick Saban yesterday on Bryce Young.
Yeah, and Bryce does. I think he's a low blood pressure guy. I think he's used to the spotlight. Played for Bruce Rawlinson at Mater Dei High School. He's one of the best programs in the country for his last 2 years of high school, and I think it really helped him, grow as a person and prepare him for the big stage at Alabama. And certainly he got a chance to sit behind Mac Jones and see how Mac prepared and played on a team that won the national championship. I think that's an invaluable situation and a resource to have.
Yeah.
And then you've seen it. I mean, this has not been an easy season for Alabama. This is, and dare I say, neither team's journey is easy, because certainly Georgia had to react to adversity against Alabama in the the SEC championship game. But I think Alabama's journey has been easier. Georgia was dominant up until the Alabama game. Alabama has not been dominant. They've been up and down. They've had to, survive some games,
right,
and survive some adversity. And I think Bryce going through the fire during the regular season has helped him. And now, Stetson Bennett went through some of it, and still, I don't put it on him what happened in game one.
Right.
He threw for 340 yards and 3 touchdowns. Yes,
you have to put it on a vaunted Georgia defense.
But the Georgia defense got shredded compared to what we're used to seeing. And so it was
they got shredded.
It was a team win for Alabama and a team loss for Georgia. It wasn't something where you say, okay, this side of the ball or this side of the ball. it was, in all three phases, Alabama outplayed Georgia the first time. Let's see what happens tonight. It's a new game. So both quarterbacks are going to play a huge role in it.
Offensively, Georgia had success against Alabama. They shot themselves in the foot several times. They feel like they did. Kirby Smart alluded to that. I mean, several third downs. Alabama did a great job in that first matchup of getting Georgia off the field on third downs. And no shock here that coming into today's game, Alabama has a better third down conversion percentage than Georgia does. Georgia is at 34% in getting off the field defensively on third down. Alabama is 30%, 4% better than Georgia in getting off the field, holding its opponents' conversion rate on third down to just 30%, which is best in the country.
And I'm telling you, the first game, Alabama won the game on third down, offensively and defensively. They held Georgia to 3 of 12. They were 7 of 14. But we're going to break it down with our next guest. And he does an outstanding job with LandryFootball.com, probably the best football resource that there is in the United States. When you're talking about the level of talking about college football, the NFL, the National Football League last night. And he also, you have to, Landry Football, when he comes on with us, Chris Landry, it's brought to you by MyPillow, and you can call 1-800-659-2, promo code Landry, and we always appreciate his time, especially when it's such a busy one with this national championship game tonight. But Chris, we're at the Uptown Cafe here in Noblesville, Indiana. Thank you for joining us on the Neighbors Wealth Line. You're with Drew and Scott. How are you?
I'm doing good, guys. Excuse me. I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing good. And Chris, tonight's the night. We know the SEC is going to win a national championship. Georgia felt really confident going into the SEC championship that game. Georgia feels confident that tonight is going to be their game. Alabama feels as confident as well. Who should feel most?
Well, I don't know about that. Actually, both teams should be confident. Georgia's, had a great season, save for the conference championship game. They're a very talented team. They've, as you alluded to, had 4 or 5 weeks ago now. You've had a chance to play this team. You've had a chance to go back and look at what you might want to do differently, where they attack you, how you attack them. I'm sure that they will have a good plan, and it'll be interesting to see, how they played differently, how they played similarly, and do they execute better? Is their defensive front a little bit better condition? One thing that Georgia did not get a lot of experience with this year is playing 4 quarters in games. They rotated a lot of guys and sat a lot of guys because they dominated so many teams, and I think that they got worn out. I'm curious to see how they're able to adjust to it and what they're able to do with their pressure packages, which I thought they did some really unique things that are a little bit different against Michigan that showed that at least that they were going to try to attack it a little bit differently. But what do they do this week is going to be key. I think getting pressure on Bryce Young is the key, and was something they couldn't do with enough regularity in the first game. And, Georgia is a team that has to be able to win it their way, meaning they're a play-action passing team base. They do things off of that. They're offshoots off of that, but they've got to be able to run the football or at least force you to at least play the run. And then if they can do one possession game, it could be in different, like closer, but if they get behind, it'll probably be much more like the same.
Well, and Chris, I said this too. Nick Saban, as well as anyone, you've worked for him in the game of football. Talk about what Georgia may need to do defensively with pressure on Bryce Young, what they might do differently offensively, even though you can't reinvent the wheel. What adjustments might Nick Saban make? Because I don't expect Alabama to attack them the same way. We know John Mechie's not, but I have said this many times though. They've been able to experience in playing against Georgia without him, because they did it the entire second half and still, outscored the Dogs.
Yeah, I think too. They had, in that 45 days or however it was, how long it was to get prepared for Cincinnati, they worked a lot of those young receivers.
Mm-hmm.
They're not devoid of talent there. I think the real key is, and I think they've got playmakers, and I think we saw it at the end of the Auburn game. I think they've got playmakers. The key is protection. So as it is key for Georgia to put pressure and move Bryce Young off his spot, for Alabama, it's going to be important to, whether through max protection, through the ball coming out every bit as quick. I think that Georgia's going to play probably a little bit more because I think the ball still is going to have to come out quick. I think it's just going to come down to protections. The other thing is, as good as Georgia is up front, and they're really built to stop the run. They're not great edge rush guys, so I think that they'll. And I thought they were a little bit just off the mark with some of their stunt and twist game. I'd be a little bit more aggressive trying to come off the edge. Look, them, LSU, Auburn, all really good job of attacking with their pressures. I think Georgia's better job of that, and if that means bringing more guys and making their secondary vulnerable, so be it. If you give Bryce Young time, the receivers will get open and make plays. But if you move him off his mark, we see what happens there. And I think that's going to be the then there is. It's not that so much that Alabama that they improved their play up front, but what they've done is just they're getting the ball out quicker and they're max protecting more. So if they do a good job getting pressure, they should be able to hold up a little bit better, even though their back end is vulnerable. Young won't have time. So I think that's going to be the key for Georgia and the key for Alabama to prevent that from happening.
You mentioned Georgia's built to the run, and Robinson ran all over Cincinnati in that semifinal game. How much success should Alabama fans think tonight that Brian could have running the ball against Georgia?
Yeah, I don't know that either team is going to have great success running football against the other, but the important part that you have to continue to run the football. Running the football changes the defense. Running the football is more important from getting the right look of opposing defense, and it has as much impact on your defense than it does on your offense. I mean, it's really imperative. In essence, Alabama can drop back, run some RPO game, can score a bunch of points. They can win that way. Georgia has to run it. But I do think Alabama has to have some run success, or Georgia's going to be able to tee off on them a little bit, be a little bit more aggressive. So in a game like this where you've got teams that are very close talent-wise, I think Georgia probably has got a little bit more this year. I think this Alabama team has been coached all down the stretch. I think the key is being able to at least to commit to the run enough to get the right looks. There's a reason why we use the rule of 50 in football. If you take pass completions and rushing attempts and you add them up, if you get to 50, you're going to win 85% of your games. And the reason for that is, so what if you're not running it for a lot of yards? It certainly helps if you run it for yards, particularly if you got a lead, but it's the ability to stay committed to the run. And what is that? Is you can't be down 17 points in the fourth quarter and stay committed to the run. But if you are in a one possession game and it's close, staying committed to the run and being patient with the run is going to set up big play opportunities. Now, Georgia is on the run, being able to set it up, but I do think they'll use Cook. I think they'll use White out in the backfield. I think that Georgia can throw the football effectively, but it all stems on their ability to force Alabama to play the run, to get the right looks and to get the right matchups with the passing game.
And Chris, to piggyback off of that, defensively for Alabama, how big a concern is that Josh Jobe played pretty well in the last game, but he's likely to miss this with a turf toe situation, had surgery. We saw Jalen Armour-Davis, who had a really good year, but he's got a hip issue. He was not himself against Cincinnati. Potentially Kool-Aid McKinstry, who's played a lot down the stretch. He got the start in the SEC championship game, could be at one corner, and then the other could be Kyrie Jackson, the junior college transfer. How concerning is that? And then also Brian Branch being able, he may be a guy that's called on to try to contain Brock Bowers, who was just a huge matchup problem for Alabama in game one.
Well, good luck with that one-on-one. To slow down Brock Bowers, you've got to do a job with him off the line of scrimmage. And then you've got to obviously have somebody over the top against him. So it's really difficult to just say, well, just you go cover Bowers. It won't work unless you can get really good pass rush pressure. The difficulty with even doing that is Bowers they do a good job with him in the screen game, the middle screen. So he can be the release option. You got to do a good job with him off the line of scrimmage, like any good tight end or flex tight end or H-back or big receiver as Bowers is. You do a good job making sure that he doesn't get a free release. And so that's going to be key. And so to your point, the corners are going to have to hold up on the outside. I mean, you're going to have to challenge those guys so that you take away the middle of the field, because I think that Bowers and the backs are going to be a big factor in the game. Yet, Pickens could have a big game, certainly win some vertical matchups, and they can and will throw the football effectively vertically if they have time to do it. So I think for Georgia and I think the offensive line has done a really solid job, but good luck blocking Will Anderson. That's going to be the key. You're probably going to have to keep, somebody in on chipping on him a little bit. So I think pass protection is going to be pivotal in this game. Play at the line of scrimmage is always pivotal, but I think that's going to be important in this game with the pressure that the rush pressure that I think both teams are going to be focused on trying to bring.
Chris Landry with us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. And points going to be at a premium tonight, or these are rematches. We read into them, we study them, we dissect them, and then they come out, and then usually it's the opposite of what we think, or we're surprised by something. Will points be at a premium tonight?
I think there'll be, some points scored. And I think the back is going to be good. I think a lot of that depends upon the vertical positions. I think, when you get, it's a lot about, the kicking game and the punting game, the coverage units, where you start. I think that's going to affect the calling, and that has, you have a little bit of a difficulty field position wise. It's a different element of your play sheet that you turn to, and that usually sometimes turns it from a 38-35 game to maybe a 27-24. I kind of, I probably somewhere in the 30-27, 27-24-ish type of game. I think they'll win this game. I do. I think that there'll be some opportunities to make plays for both teams. I think both teams are vulnerable in the secondary if you protect well enough, and if you can force the defense to respect your run. The other thing too, and we saw this in the conference championship game, the game gets out of whack. It's a pretty good game by Stetson Bennett in some respects, but then you have a turnover, you have a pick six, or something happens. Those are devastating plays. You can't look at stats and say, oh, well, threw for a bunch of yards. That doesn't matter when you turn the football over in this game. You turn the football over in this game, it's going to kill you, and it's going to take the point total and maybe change it differently than we might expect, and maybe even to the point where it's an extra touchdown that's unexpected. So I think that's going to be key. It's going to be not necessarily just making the big play, but making the smart play, avoiding the big play. It's so often in games like this, it's not the plays that you make, but it's plays that you don't make. And I think big plays are important. I think that certainly putting the ball in the hands of playmakers are really important. But just as much as you make a mistake and you throw a pick six, certainly from Georgia's standpoint, that's something that's tough to overcome. They're not as explosive.
Well, Chris, as we are wrapping it up with the last couple of minutes, and this is Chris Landry, LandryFootball.com. I'll set the stage for you. You know, Alabama, repeats as national champions if, and then Georgia wins their first since 1980 if. Just kind of set it up for us.
Well, I'll go back to there are a number of factors that are important, but I think the biggest key to this game is pass protection for Bama, keeping a clean pocket for Bryce Young. If Bryce Young has a clean pocket, that could very well be the difference in the game, I feel. If they move him off his mark, then I think that this Georgia team is certainly better than the teams that have given Alabama trouble defensively with their defense against Alabama's protections this year. I think Georgia is capable of that, but I'm curious to see how many guys they'll bring, because that's the difference. Is those other teams brought extra pressure. Would Georgia be willing to do it? How effective will they be able to do it? So I would say that the key to this game and where the decision will go, certainly turnovers are important and all those things are important. But I would say look at the position through four quarters for Bryce Young. Be it, you can run the football and you slow down, Georgia's pass rush. Or if you can, with max protection or getting the ball out quick and have some success. The ability to protect, get the ball out versus the inability to do that because they're rushing is going to determine the outcome of this game.
Great
Good stuff, Chris.
LandryFootball.com. And but Chris, let everybody know how to connect with your service. It's the best there is out there when it comes to analyzing college football, the NFL. You also follow recruiting as well. It's just a resource that's second to none. Let everybody know how to connect with you.
Well, we appreciate from recruiting, obviously the NFL draft, NFL free agency, the NFL postseason, got it all broken down. For example, the Alabama-Georgia game, we've got a detailed preview up when we go into a complete analysis, roster analysis and team analysis for both of the teams, some key things to look for, some more overreaching keys for Georgia, keys for Alabama, what needs to happen in addition to what I just talked about. So, look, it's like having your own scouting department for less than a magazine subscription. So check it out today. It's less than $10 a month. It's cheaper than that if you take advantage of the year membership. So it's all year round because it is recruiting. It is the draft. It is free agency. It is breaking down the games during the season. But probably all the news and notes from the coaching searches, college to the NFL, we cover all of that for you as well. So on the inside, the film breakdowns, we got it all for you. LandryFootball.com. Take advantage of the holiday savings special that we still got going up for you.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks,
We
Chris.
really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy the game. Take care.
All right, Chris Landry with us. Let's get a break in. When we come back, hour one of Talking Ball will be in the books.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Got a couple of wrecks on Chapman now. One eastbound as you come up to the mountain off 565. One westbound right on top of the mountain. The one eastbound's got an overturned vehicle with an injury. Got one in Morgan County, 67 and Friendship Road reported with an injury. Just got one in Decatur, 6th Avenue and 9th Street. Nobody's reported injured there. And we got a stall tractor trailer causing problems in Morgan County, 67 and Spiegel Road. The Somnodent from Dr. Sandman is insurance accepted for sleep and for snoring. It's an easy-to-use oral device. No mask, no hose. 350-CARE or RandallSandlin.com. Captain Nick in the Jordan Lane Popeye Skywatch Traffic Center.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood a Bob Wall appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
Chapman Commercial Realty, your source for Alabama commercial real estate. Chapman Commercial Realty has the experience and expertise you're looking for when making commercial real estate decisions. If it's office space, retail space, investment property, or project development, Chapman Commercial Realty is your answer. Call Bill Chapman today at 256-656-8413. That's 256-656-8413. Or find them online at chapmancommercialrealty.com.
Who hasn't felt protective lately of our families, our communities, our resources? In times like these, we all fight to make sure our people are safe. But at the American Cancer Society, our people, our community, our family is made up of millions of cancer patients and their families. So keeping them safe takes everyone's help. Society at cancer.org.
Ever found exactly the right new car or truck with the exact features that you want and else? Well, Woody Anderson Ford, we can price you just that. Hey, Bobby White back again, and you can now factory order your new Ford today. You'll get your new car or truck exactly the way you want it. And there's no extra cost to custom order. Plus, you get $1,000 off MSRP on top of any additional factory rebates. This applies to 2021 F-150, Explorer, Ranger, and Expedition. It's a win-win with a custom order at Woody Anderson Ford. You get the colors, the features, and the options that fit your life. Plus, you get notified when it's built, shipped, and ready to deliver. Listen, buying a new car or truck is likely the second largest investment you'll ever make. So why settle? Get exactly what you want with a custom factory order today. And get $1,000 off MSRP. See how at WoodyAndersonFord.com or at the corner of Jordan Lane and Sparkman Drive. Hope to see you soon.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. Still a place to call for your installation needs, but now we have masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on two services you need, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatedwitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
Take your taste buds back in time with a trip to the all-new Bubbies Diner, offering a variety of mouth-watering, delicious starters to 50-style diner food and eaten 3 meals, featuring owner and Hunts native Chris Bubby Belcher's family's homemade recipe. Open Monday through Saturday for breakfast, lunch, and dinner at 8012 Whitesburg Drive in the former Gibson's Barbecue. Drive-in, drive-through, carry-out, or curbside pickup with delivery coming soon through Grub South. Bubbies Diner, home of the Donut Burger.
Valley Equipment. Pretty self-explanatory name. No, Tom Abraham here. And look, Valley Equipment Rental is all over the Tennessee Valley, and they rent equipment, all equipment, and not just to the contractors out there, but to you, the general public. A skid steer or an excavator? Well, they've got over 40 units to make sure they've got one for you. From huge boom lifts to miscellaneous hand tools, it's at Valley Rental on the South Parkway. And soon, they'll have a second location to handle even more equipment. More on that to come.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
You know the crowd is ready. The top-ranked Alabama Crimson Tide
third-ranked Georgia Bulldogs. Get ready. The College Football National Championship, presented by AT&T.
Our coverage of the national championship game on 97.7 ESPN The Zone is brought to you by Sports Med Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, Hometown Lenders, Valley Equipment Rental, North Alabama Mortgage, Bubbies Diner, and by DOC. Listen to all the coverage and game right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. This segment of Talkin Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
Big thanks to Sportsmed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center and Hometown Lenders, along with Woody Anderson Ford, for helping Talking Ball reach Noblesville, Indiana. See, I got it right.
Indiana.
Noblesville.
Noblesville. Indiana.
We've been Noblesville. We've been calling it. That's just
Noblesville.
That's just we apologize, but nonetheless, I can pronounce Uptown Cafe, and
Yes.
I've done that very well. And that is where we are at this morning in Indiana, where it feels like 5 degrees.
Well, but they have great orange juice that you're still drinking.
Freshly squeezed orange juice, homemade orange. It can't be homemade orange juice because you can't make a orange. You can grow an orange.
Freshly squeezed.
It's freshly squeezed orange juice here at Uptown Cafe. I guess you could call it Main Street. Almost, for those that are listening back home, it almost has a Scottsboro type of feel.
Or even Gunnersville downtown.
Or a Gunnersville. Yeah, it has a little bit of a Gunnersville, a little bit of a Scottsboro, a little bit of a small town feel for everybody that's listening. That is kind of where we're at. But we were told it has about 60 or 70,000 people in the town. So
because we've already had somebody that's going to download our app just to listen in his office.
Well, that's why we're here. And it's fun. Well, actually, we're here because of the national championship game. And coming up in hour number 2, we'll get to your phone calls, 256-576-4977. I want to invite you. Coming up today, you'll be able to hear us a couple more times. You got 2 more chances. You'll be able to listen to. We'll have a little face live show for 30 minutes from 1:30 to 2. And we're going to be at the Slippery Noodle again for that. And then the drive will be on from 2 to 4. And then the Crimson Tide Sports Network will take over at 4 o'clock, leading you into tonight's national championship game. So we will still be live in Indy. We got one more big finale, so make sure you tune in. You can do from 1:30 to 2 on Facebook Live. We'll take your questions, your predictions, and then Steve and Wes will come to you live from the Slippery Noodle, downtown Indianapolis, across the street from Lucas Oil Field. You have not been to the Slippery Noodle. You have not met Marty yet. No. Marty is a trip. Marty is a one-of-a-kind down there.
We were at the Nest last night having a great meal, and I looked up and saw the clock. I thought I was going to see Marty McFly come flying by.
It's got a little bit
Back
of
to the Future.
Yep. All right, let's get our break in here for hour number 1. We are live from the Uptown Cafe in Noblesville, Indiana, ahead of tonight's championship game. We'll be right back for hour number 2. The phone lines are open to you. Give us your predictions. Complete the sentence. Alabama wins if. Georgia wins if. Coming up in hour 2.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
Tom Abraham here from my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating. So you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does. And they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida. From first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Just got a wreck westbound on 72, right about Moore's Mill. That one's reported with injuries. 231 south of Walker Lane, also getting a report of injury there. 6th Avenue and 9th Street in Decatur, nobody's hurt. 67 in Friendship Road in Morgan County came in with injuries. Had a couple of wrecks, one eastbound, one westbound on Chapman. They're trying to get those cleared out of the way. Snelling has immediate need for experienced accounting clerks to assist with special projects. QuickBooks Experience a Plus. Huntsville.snelling.com. Captain Nick in the 72 and Jav Popeyes. I watch Traffic Center.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Monday night, expect a clear sky. Low temperatures falling into the mid and upper 20s for the overnight. We could also see gusty winds as high as 25 miles per hour. For your Tuesday, plenty of sunshine. High temperatures topping out in the upper 40s for the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
College football, the CFP National Championship game tonight in Indianapolis. Alabama going for their 6th title in 11 years. Georgia looking for their first since 1980. The Bulldogs, as they were in the SEC Championship game, a favorite tonight, -2.5, 52.5 the over-under. The playoffs begin this week in the FC Wildcard Saturday. The Raiders 6.5 at the Bengals. The Bills -4.5 at home against the Patriots. Then Sunday, the Steelers +13 at the Chiefs. Also Sunday in the NFC Wildcard, the Eagles +9 at Tampa Bay. The Niners +3 at Dallas. And next Monday, the Rams a 4-point home favorite against the Cardinals.
I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. Welcome to Talkin Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
It is hour 2 of Talking Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Theisen, Drew DeArmond with you, holding court at the Uptown Cafe here in Noblesville, Indiana. And we are here ahead of tonight's national championship game. We have spent a lot of time in Indianapolis. We have spent time there on Friday and Saturday, and we're going to be there later this afternoon across the street from Lucas Oil Stadium, tonight's site of the national championship game. It is a rematch of the SEC championship game, a game in which Alabama prevailed, a game in which Georgia, the experts thought it was going to be a rollover game, rolling game for Georgia, where they were going to come into Atlanta, they were going to march right on into
and Alabama
Mercedes
wouldn't
Stadium.
even be here now.
Yeah, and that was the perception going into the national championship game. So what is the perception tonight? 256-576-4977. We want to hear from you on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. What is your perception of the game this evening? How do you think it's going to play out? We want to hear from you tonight. Derek Gardner on Facebook Live was talking about name, image, and likeness. Now, yes, Nick Saban and Nick Saban was asked about the transfer portal yesterday, not about name, image, and likeness, but he was asked about the transfer portal yesterday. But Derek Gardner on Facebook Live asked the question saying that Nick Saban owns a Mercedes-Benz dealership, several of them. What's to stop him from offering free Mercedes-Benz to players that are on the football team?
Because he's the head coach. That's what's going to stop him from doing it.
There we go.
I mean, hello.
Well, I mean, people are asking, so we want to fill people in.
I mean, and his son and his daughter run one of them in Birmingham, and again, if you're talking about someone that can be that closely associated with the program from a standpoint of a family member of a coach, that's not gonna happen. They're not gonna be able to do that. I mean, I hope Texas A&M enjoys, this $30 million that they spent on this football class, because it's not going to last. And what I mean by that is there's going to be some sort of regulation eventually from Congress or whatever on name, image, and likeness. Now, There'll still be guys getting compensated, and they'll still use it to recruit. But what Texas A&M did to try to buy a national title, which they'll throw up all over themselves and choke and not win one, then I mean, that's what they're taking advantage of the moment. I don't blame them for doing that. They've got more billionaire boosters than anybody. Now, they haven't won a national title since 1939 or something. This is not even the Georgia situation that we poke fun at. This is talking about when they didn't even have bars on the helmets is the last time Texas A&M won something. But they're definitely trying to
not with Dennis Franchione.
They hold the rope there and then basically end up jumping off a bridge. But Jimbo Fisher, they're trying to help him out, and Jimbo needs help because he's one of the most overrated coaches in college football.
All right, 256-576-4977. That's the number of the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. We want to hear from you this morning. We do have Steve Gardner says Bama 34, Georgia 24. Wendy Johnson says Alabama 45, Georgia 27. Do you see Alabama getting to 45 tonight?
Man, I just don't. I don't see it being as high scoring as this last game. I don't, I know Steve Moulton picked 41-21, I believe.
Right.
Or 42.
Well, Grady the Greek put 38, right?
Yeah, he did. Grady was kind of along the lines of where I was, but I'm a little lower than that. I've got 31-20. I think it's going to be more of a defensive game. I think both teams are going to adjust to what the other's doing. I do think Alabama's going to run the football a little bit more now. Bryce Young is still going to be the story, but I think Brian Robinson will have a shot to be MVP in this game. And in a lot of ways, I hope he is because, for one, I mean, he called his shot after the semifinal win over Cincinnati. And two, the biggest reason is he's a Tuscaloosa kid. He waited his turn. He's somebody that was behind Najee Harris and Damian Harris and all these guys throughout his career, and he could go out as a national champion.
Right.
And then if you turn around from the Georgia perspective, Stetson Bennett, because I'm just telling you right now, Stetson Bennett would never have to buy a drink again. Stetson Bennett would never have to buy a meal. Everybody would completely change their opinion of him, and then he could do a radio show with our good friend Buck Ballou for the rest of his life.
But what would that say about the
those
Georgia?
Are the two national championship quarterbacks in Georgia history.
What would that say about the Georgia fan base, though? Which, I mean, they have been exceptionally hard on him.
The only reason they've been hard on him is because, one, they haven't beat Alabama. That's the biggest thing.
Right.
But two, in their head, they can't get it out of there that he's a former walk-on. And you got overrated JT Daniels over here that's supposed to be the number one pick in the draft, that was supposed to win the Heisman Trophy,
right?
That was supposed to be he was supposed to be the savior, and he has the mental toughness of a grape. So that's the problem.
A grape.
That's what. Yep, absolutely, a freaking grape. So,
on its way to be a raisin, or are we? I mean, are we talking about
on his way to another school when he's in the portal after the season? That's where JT, the Cal State, Northridge, wherever he goes. Okay,
Cal State, Northridge,
whatever. I'm just saying he's overrated. He's never won anything.
No, he hasn't.
He didn't win anything at Southern Cal.
He lost
Keaton
the starting
Slovis,
job.
Who's now going to be the starting quarterback at Pitt, beat him out and threw for 7,000 yards.
Right. You're right.
What has the dude ever done but get hurt and then leave SEC media days because he was frazzled? Are you kidding me? I mean, Stetson Bennett's been criticized his whole career, but he keeps playing. And you got a kid over here that can't go to SEC media days because he's frazzled. Give me a break. He needs to be at Cal State Northridge.
Preparation.
Lord.
Preparation. That's what it's about tonight. Nick Saban talking about preparation yesterday.
We talk a lot about what do you have to do technically in the game to be able to have success in terms of your ability to execute probably against the best player you played against all year. So that's how you got to prepare, and that's how you got to focus. And That's what you need to be concerned about because I think once the game starts, 5 minutes into the game, I don't know that anybody's thinking about all this stuff that you all talk about. So they're trying to win their box. They're trying to do what they can do to help their team, both sides of the ball. So we expect that, and that's what our players need to be focused on.
So we see it a lot of times when you get into big games like this, especially in the NCAA basketball tournament. It takes about 3 or 4 minutes before the nerves kind of settle down and we really start to get into game action. Tonight, both of these teams, they know each other. They faced each other just a little over a month ago.
Yeah.
How much time do you think, once that ball kicks off, are we going to see the real football game and the nerves go away? And because Kirk Herbstreit's going to talk about it. He's going to hear, I guarantee you will hear the word nerves and excitement and all that in the first couple minutes. How much of that time is it going to take for these two teams to settle in and get playing Georgia-Alabama football?
I think pretty early in the first quarter, because I know this is a national championship game, but they just played a game of the century in the SEC championship game. And don't give me this mantra that Georgia didn't really care about the game. They already knew they were in the playoff, blah, blah, blah. They wanted to win the SEC championship. They wanted to smash Nick Saban because they realized that Nick Saban wouldn't even be in the playoff. They wouldn't be having to worry about it right now.
Right.
Because if Alabama had lost 41-24, there's no way they get in the playoff.
Right.
Okay.
Well, they'd have 2 losses.
Yeah,
yes,
they would have 2 losses, and it would have been an ass whipping. And so they would have been out. But instead, Georgia got beat. They had printed all these shirts, made all these hats, thought they were going to win the SEC championship. They were already planning a parade to be an undefeated national champion and call themselves the greatest team of all time. Piggybacking off what what Alabama said, then it would have been Georgia saying it. But now they've got another chance. They still can win it tonight. And then if they do, the SEC championship game will be, flushed.
Right.
But again, if they don't, then it changes the mantra of how was this Georgia team overrated? Because the thing is, they didn't finish. And so that's what's going to be at stake tonight. I just think Georgia needs to start fast, because if they fall behind Alabama early, I think they're going to start doubting themselves again. But
they started fast in the SEC title game.
They did.
And
I'll say this. I'm not going to be shocked if Georgia starts fast tonight, because that's not been the problem. In every game, all 4 of them against the Alabama Crimson Tide, when Kirby Smart's been there, they have led at some point in time. Okay, it's not been wire to wire. Alabama's had to face adversity and come back against them. So, but I still think it's important for Georgia to get off to a good start, to get Stetson Bennett rolling, and then get their defense playing and pressuring Bryce Young. And then if you're Alabama, you want to start fast, because I want to put doubt in Georgia's mind. In other words, yeah, we played 45 days ago and the clock hit 0 and Alabama won. But if Alabama comes out punching, then hey, Alabama's here, and we're in your head, and we're the better team. So, but I will say this: in all 4 matchups, that hasn't happened. Because Georgia has basically started faster than Alabama. So it's going to be really interesting to see if that continues tonight.
All right. Earlier this week, the players had a virtual media day with reporters. Everything has been virtual up here in Indianapolis. It did come out that the Georgia players have referred to Bryce Young. They've nicknamed him the Gingerbread Man for his elusiveness, kind of like Kyle Murray. Yeah, and then Kirby Smart called him Houdini yesterday. Austin Blanco on Facebook Live says, how did y'all like the new nickname for Bryce Young, the Gingerbread Man?
Well,
do we read too much into that, or
if they can't catch him, they finna lose. That's all I'm going to say. So they better catch him tonight, because if they don't, and I hope they don't,
he gone?
He gone. And it's going to be 5 in a row. So, they better
that's
catch
for
Bryce
everybody
Young.
on the stream right there.
And they better, pressure him, and they better hit him, because when Texas A&M did it for a while, they built a lead against Alabama. When Florida did it, they nearly came back and won the game.
Yes.
So and when Auburn did it, they led for 59 minutes and then choked on sauce and lost that game. So, but I'm just saying, you've got to pressure him. If you can pressure him, move any quarterback. If you can pressure the quarterback and move him off his spot,
make him
got a chance to be successful. And that's Chris Landry said that in hour 1. We'll talk to Bill Bender about it, but it's going to come down to which quarterback is pressured and who makes mistakes. Because I still think it's a simple game, man. It still comes down to third down on offense and defense, running the football for 125-plus yards on either side, either team, and then it comes down to which quarterback plays the best. Is Bryce Young a Heisman guy? Does Stetson Bennett become a Steven Garcia? Does he have that kind of moment, or a Zach Calzada, who earlier this year for Texas A&M? And then the turnovers, because it was a nip and tuck game even 45 days ago until Jordan Battle ran the pick back.
Right.
And then as soon as that happened and Georgia fell behind 2 scores, they were going to have a hard time, because like Chris Landry said, they play 2008 wad ball in a lot of ways, and it's harder for them to come back. What they want to do is get a lead on you and be able to pound on you. But the difference with Alabama, and the reason they've been able to come back against Georgia, is Alabama is explosive. They have explosive athletes in their offense.
That explosiveness lets Alabama play with a little bit of tempo. That tempo
Alabama
got Jordan,
needs to play with tempo tonight.
But that tempo got Jordan Davis in trouble because condition-wise, he is a big man.
Yeah.
Admitted this week that he had to work on his conditioning since the SEC championship game. He is a force along that defensive line, but he got wore out in the SEC championship game. He was not conditioned.
Get in better shape in 45 days, bro, as big as he is. You know what I'm saying?
That's what a lot of people were asking, and a lot of people were scratching their heads for when he says, yeah, I've got to hit the treadmill. I'm even running on the treadmill after this interview. I did this interview. I'm running on the treadmill. I'm trying to get my conditioning level up since the SEC championship game because I was not in condition to play. Or not play, but do what he had to do for 4 quarters.
Well, what he realized was how good Alabama is. So, because he was a dominant player. Georgia's defense was dominant up until they played Alabama. And they were dominant against Michigan. They went back to doing what they do.
Right.
We'll see if they can do that tonight. But if I'm Alabama, you got to play with tempo against Georgia. Because you got to wear their front out, and you got to wear Jordan Davis out. And I don't know that Georgia has the pass rushers that Alabama does. Now, they may be more effective with their blitzes, and that's what people are talking about, pressuring Bryce Young through blitzes. But does Alabama counter and be able to burn them with some big plays, hot routes, things of that nature? The thing is, reason I like Alabama in this matchup, nobody's really talking about it. They just want to talk about what jobs he's going to interview for. But Bill O'Brien has worked for Bill Belichick, which means he's been in big games, Super Bowls, all this kind of stuff. He has been on this kind of stage his whole career, so he will be ready for this. Is Todd Monken ever won a championship? No, I'm not dismissing Todd Monken. I'm just saying I'll take Bill O'Brien in this situation. Bill O'Brien and Doug Marrone, who have coached on the highest level of the football. I'll take those two guys, even though the Alabama fans have kind of ripped on them all year long. I think these two guys have been through the fire. They're veterans, and they can help Alabama win number 19 tonight.
Alabama fans rip on the coordinators like Georgia fans have ripped on Stetson Bennett at the quarterback position. Randy King on Facebook, Drew, says, as an Alabama fan, he doesn't understand why Kirby doesn't slow the game way down. Always seems aggressive against Alabama. He's got a great defense, a great tailback. When did the formula change? Run the ball, control the clock, and keep the Heisman winner off the field. How much does Georgia need to slow down that game, though, and use the running game that they have, the power game that Georgia has?
Both of them are going to have to run the football, but what Georgia has to do is score points, period. They've got to finish drives. They've got to get Brock Bowers going. I mean, he's a mismatch nightmare. He's a beast. They got to get James Cook going. They're going to have to score in the 30s. If they can't score in the 30s, they ain't got a chance.
Wow.
I'll just say that right now.
So they need to score in the 30s. What is Alabama? So Georgia needs to reach the 30s to win. Alabama needs to reach.
Alabama just needs to play their game. I think Alabama, they've been pretty explosive all year long. But I will say this, it comes down to turnovers. If Bryce Young, if they turn it over 2 or 3 times, and that means to me Georgia will be in the 30s, then Alabama's going to have a hard time winning. I still think if Alabama falls behind early, they can still rally and get back in this game and have a shot to win it because they've done it before. They've been there, done that against Georgia. But again, I just think overall when it comes down to it, this Georgia offense, they're going to have to score in the 30s to win. Because I know they've got a generational defense, quote unquote, but I don't think they're going to be able to hold Alabama. I think Alabama will at least score in the high 20s. which means you got to score 30-plus points to win the national championship if you're Kirby Smart.
All right, let's get that break in, because when we come back from the Uptown Cafe, Bill Bender going to join us as we talk some college football, some more. We're going to get you ready for that national championship game coming up tonight on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Got a wreck westbound on 72 at Moore's Mill. Injuries reported there. 231 south of Walker Lane. That one's coming in as a no injury, but there may be a fight there. 67 in Friendship Road in Morgan County had an injury involved. 72 westbound on Chapman and 565 eastbound approaching the mountain. Two different wrecks there they're trying to clear. And we had a traffic signal problem reported in Decatur at Central and the Beltline. You get 3 pieces of the crispy tender chicken and a buttermilk biscuit for $4.99 at Popeyes. University in Jordan, 72 in Jeff and North Parkway. Captain Nick in the Popeye Skywatch Traffic Center.
You experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Hometown Lenders was founded right here in North Alabama on old school principles. We like to call them the 4 Ps. The best products, the best processes, competitive pricing, and of course, the best people. It's why we're one of America's fastest growing mortgage lenders. We're now adding a 5th P, the Hometown Promise. If we don't close on time, you don't pay a dime. Yes, you heard that right. On time, every time, or we refund 100% of our fees.
Injured in a car accident? Get the help you need. I'm Morris Lilienthal, a personal injury lawyer right here in Huntsville. I've personally helped over 4,000 clients with their injury claims. My firm, Martinson & Beeson, has been helping clients for over 80 years, and we have received over 300 5-star Google reviews. We know that injuries and accidents can be life-changing, and I'm here to help you navigate the entire process. Get in touch with me right now by visiting morristheattorney.com. There's no charge for our meeting. Again, that's morristheattorney.com. I look forward to helping you.
No representation is made. The quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by the lawyer. If you need a car, McCurry Motors is ready to put you in a quality vehicle, and in-house financing is available. If you have a job, McCurry Motors will work with you even if you have a bankruptcy, divorce, or bad credit. Visit McCurrySaysYes.com. Every car comes with a warranty, and they report to the credit bureau. With 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens, call 256-230-0232, or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville, call 256-713-0575.
Here's another listing from the 97.7 ESPN The Zone job board. Automation Personnel Services is looking for forklift operators in the Madison area. This warehouse position can earn $18 an hour for day shifts and $20 for nights. Learn more at 977ESPN.com. Does your business have positions it needs filled? Contact 97.7 ESPN The Zone today to get your openings announced on the 97.7 ESPN The Zone job board. Just email Joe at abrahambroadcasting@gmail.com.
Hi, everybody. Eli Gold here. Right now, indoor air quality occupies top-of-mind awareness for families and business owners. Rick Smith and the trusted professionals at Environmental Comfort Systems can take care of your indoor air quality concerns with their state-of-the-art indoor air quality solutions. Environmental Comfort's indoor air quality systems remove 99.9% of airborne contaminants so you and your family can breathe clean, fresh air. If anyone in your family suffers from allergies, or if you just want the security of knowing the air you breathe inside your home is free from viruses, bacteria, pet dander, dust, and odors, Environmental Comfort Systems are the professionals to call. Environmental Comfort also carries state-of-the-art, high-efficiency comfort systems that increase home comfort, keep humidity in check, and help you save money on your energy bills. Give my friend Rick a call or visit them online at envcomfort.com and breathe cleaner air today. Environmental Comfort Systems, Alabama license number 92314.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888 8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com.
Chapman Commercial Realty, your source for Alabama commercial real estate. Chapman Commercial Realty has the experience and expertise you're looking for when making commercial real estate decisions. If it's office space, retail space, investment property, or project development, Chapman Commercial Realty is your answer. Call Bill Chapman today at 256-656-8413. That's 256-656-8413. Or find them online at chapmancommercialrealty.com.
This is Paul Feinbaum. Listen to me coming up today at 2. Now back to Talking Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
And welcome back to Talking Ball, live on the road in Noblesville, Indiana, here at the Uptown Cafe along Main Street. Uptown Cafe, let me tell you, it is phenomenal. The breakfast is phenomenal. We are having a great time here covering this national championship run from Alabama, where they hope it all ends in a title tonight. Let's get out to the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Shane Sean with us on a Monday. Good morning, Shane Sean.
Hey, good morning.
What's going on, man?
Y'all are making me cold up there just talking about it.
Look, it's cold. I'm not gonna lie. When it says, I think it may have warmed up now. It may feel like it's 6 degrees outside, but it's cold.
Yeah, well, we got the upper 20s this morning. It's cold here, but good Lord, I couldn't imagine that. Hey, you was talking about, right before you went to the break, about how, what it would take for Alabama and Georgia to win. In all honesty, what it's going to take is if Alabama plays their game that they played against Georgia in the SEC championship, I don't think Georgia has an opportunity to win. If they do not play with that kind of intensity and, everything just perfect, then Georgia does have a very good shot to win.
Well, I can see that, but trust me, I don't expect Alabama to come out flat and thinking they take it for granted. They're just going to waltz out there and beat Georgia. I mean, these are the two best teams in America, and everybody knows it.
If they're, I've never seen a Saban team not ready for a big game. So,
I mean, they got trounced by Clemson, but a lot of that was red zone stuff, and again, that coaching staff was not as good as this one is. Let's just be honest.
Well, I'll say this: it's crazy to think that Alabama's could be playing will be playing for what possibly could be its 19th championship, but it's unheard of to think that Saban's playing for his 8th.
Yeah, It's crazy.
Yep. All right, Shane Sean, thanks for the call, brother.
Thank you.
Let's get to
y'all stay warm, be careful, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Yep.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
get to Rod on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Good morning, Rod.
What's up, Rod?
Hey, roll tide, guys. Y'all falling out?
Yeah,
Well,
man.
we're trying to.
We're here at the Uptown Cafe, man. We're having a great time.
Yeah, at least they have nice. I mean, they've got great food. They've
Great
got the
folks.
coffees. They've got the warm stuff. So we're okay. It's just when we go outside, we're cold.
Okay. Hey, I was just going to say, I was with Drew hit on. Georgia played their best game, too. They didn't come in there thinking, we got 2 games to play. They came in there and gave us their best shot. We did, too, because this is, and this is the way this game's going to be, too. And it's going to come down to coaching, and it's going to come down to us protecting Bryce Young and what we do on the back end to confuse Bennett, I think. And we got to stop the run to force him, to put the game on his shoulders. And I think if we do that, and bring the physicality, I think we walk away winning, But how are you guys feeling about the two replacements in the secondary?
Well, it's one of the keys to the game. The right side of the offensive line, the health of Emil Ekiyor and Chris Owens is big. And then, Kool-Aid McKinstry and potentially Kyrie Jackson are big as well. I mean, but I do think Georgia has their own issues in their back end. But certainly it's concerning when you have to play guys that are inexperienced. But what it comes down to is what Chris Landry said. Whoever rushes the passer better, whoever gets gets home. I mean, whether it's bringing 3 or 4 or 5 or whether it's blitzing, and bring in 6 and 7 guys. Whoever gets home and pressures the QB either into mistakes or actually gets him on the ground, that's going to be the biggest help for a secondary. Pressure helps the secondary. And so, that's what's it's going to come down to tonight, Rod, is which team pressures the most.
Hey, is Ekiyor and Owens, are they ready to go on the right side?
They have practiced. I think both of them will play. I'll be surprised if they don't. Ekiyor will probably have a short leash, depending on how his shoulder does. J.C. Latham will be ready to go. But I definitely think C.O., this will be his last game in an Alabama uniform. He came back for this. Will definitely be ready to play.
All right, Rob.
Yeah. Hey, good guy. Y'all.
Thank you, Rod.
All right, thanks for the phone call, Rob. All right, I believe we're ready. Chad, are we ready?
Ready to go.
Chet.
Okay. Yeah, let's go out to our next guest now on the Neighbors Wealth Management
Yeah,
Hotline.
he is going to be live in Lucas Oil Stadium for the national championship. He has been down here in Indianapolis and been, prominent asking the players questions, and Nick Saban and Kirby Smart. Great coverage from him, and it's been a while since we've had him on the show. Been too long, really. But we're down here in his neck of the woods here in the Midwest, and that is Bill Bender, and he is the college football lead writer for the Sporting News, and he is with us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Well, Bill, hope you had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Welcome back. We're in Noblesville, Indiana, here at the Uptown Cafe. You're Drew and Scott. How are you?
We've kind of merged up to your neck of the woods.
Hey, you boys bring your winter coat?
Yes,
we brought
sir.
a bunch of them.
We certainly did, Bill.
Brought everything I own.
I got some gloves, too, thanks to Steve Moulton.
There you go. Well, good to talk to you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, and I wanted to go into your I was reading some of your covers this morning, and the climate around Stetson Bennett, who's going to be one of the pressure points of this game. You had some interesting things and interesting takes on where he stands going into this game, because he's had to kind of fend off JT Daniels. He's been criticized by his own fan base, and yet he's got Georgia on the doorstep of some history tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not all on him, but I mean, the quarterback's obviously the most important piece, and he just can't get in a shootout with Alabama. I think if he makes good decisions with the football, he does have that chip of a walk-on quarterback. He's got that little bit of mock you want to see from a quarterback in that position, and he has to make good decisions with the football tonight.
Nick Saban has a chance tonight to win another national championship. It's well documented what he's done at Alabama, this dynasty, this run, and everything. But after what he had last year and lost, as far as coordinators go, players go, he wins tonight. Is this his best job in getting Alabama back to the national title game and to win a championship from what we've seen over this dynasty that he's built?
I mean, as you guys know, Nick doesn't like comparisons. He's made that clear. Right?
Yeah.
Remarkable given what they've lost. All the talent that they lost and all those players that they lost from last year's team that are having success at the NFL level. So, yeah, I mean, I think there's something to that, being able to keep this team focused. And, when you can use a fifth-year player like Brian Robinson, who was awesome in the semifinal, I mean, that's the kind of thing that he can sell this process with, right? That if you wait your turn, you're going to have success.
Yeah, no question about it, Bill. And we're talking to Bill Bender of the Sporting News. In your mind, what carries over from game one? You saw the first one where Alabama was, the prohibitive underdog, and they shocked Georgia a little bit with how they played. But what in your mind, is it the same keys to the game to who wins? But does anything carry over?
I mean, it's this one's going to be closer. I think, they've seen it, everything that happened in that SEC championship game so far removed. I think Georgia, the way they came out against Michigan, that maybe they're playing with a different sense of urgency, makes it interesting there. And, yeah, I mean, I think we're going to have a heck of a football game tonight. I'd look for this to be a lot like the last time they hooked up in the championship game, where it was a really close game.
Once again, though, the SEC guaranteed a national championship. Everybody wants to point to the Alabama-LSU game and the Alabama-Georgia game of the other previous national championship as to why we have the college football playoffs, why we are heading in this direction. How much does this change the college football landscape going forward as far as expanding the playoffs go? Does it have any impact on it at all?
Well, I mean, maybe. I mean, the meeting is, I'm staking out the meeting that, so we'll see what is said from this. I mean, they've been deliberating for 2.5 days, essentially. So, I mean, it's going to be really interesting. I don't know if we'll get a major change today. If we do, I mean, what a story that would be ahead of the championship game. I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but, what if we go to a 12-team playoff and 4 of the teams are SEC teams? What are you going to do then? And that's not impossible.
It's not. And Bill, I know as you've covered this game and prepared for it, is there something that a storyline in your mind that someone's not talking about, or a player, or some aspect of this that you think could give the other squad, Alabama or Georgia, an edge?
No, I mean, I just think it comes down to they talked about special teams yesterday in their press conference, and as I tried to ask Nick Saban, I figured I'd get the answer I did. It's a rematch. There's revenge, underdog. All of those things go out the window when the ball's kicked. And I figured that's what he was going to say. But both teams are focused. Both have a lot on the line, and I think Bryce Young's the X factor. When he's being compared to Houdini by Kirby Smart, that tells you all you need to know.
Mm-hmm, there really is. And Bill, I know you said you think it's going to be a lower scoring game. I do too. I've got a 31-20 Alabama win. As you've gotten a feel for it, do you think Kirby gets the job done in the rematch tonight, or does Nick Saban still continue to hold his mastery over his pupil?
Well, I picked Alabama to win 27-24. I think it's going to be a really exciting game, and 1 or 2 plays to make the difference in a game like this, as it so often does. So, yeah, I picked Alabama. I mean, shocker there, another national title. But if Georgia wins, I mean, I won't be surprised either. I think this is going to be a fun game, a fun stage. And, even though I live in Big Ten country, I like seeing the 2 best teams at the end of the road, and that's what we had.
Stetson Bennett did not have a bad game in the SEC championship game. I mean, Georgia's offense put up plenty of opportunities and plenty of yards for them to win that game. It was the Georgia defense that gave up a lot of yards in the SEC title game. What's your thoughts on Stetson Bennett and how well he has played and how much he has delivered in getting Georgia to this point?
I mean, for all the criticism, I mean, he's done fine. He's handled that. He's bit back at critics a little bit. I mean, the most popular guy on campus is always the backup quarterback. So he's got him to this point. He's played well. You heard Monken talk earlier in the week about how they didn't throw the ball downfield a lot because they were ahead in a lot of games. So with Bowers and Pickens tonight, I think, like I said, the pressure's on him. What a story it would be for a former walk-on to lead Georgia to its first national championship since 1980. I know that's one that they don't want to hear in Alabama, but, I mean, it's possible.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely possible. As we're wrapping it up with you, this is Bill Bender of the Sporting News, going to be there tonight inside Lucas Oil Stadium. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about a piece you just wrote. You saw Michigan play against this Georgia team. Michigan had a breakthrough year under Jim Harbaugh. They beat Ohio State. They got to the college football playoff. But now, as you wrote, he's got an interesting decision because this is Black Monday. The NFL firings are coming hot and heavy. I know you wrote that you felt like it would be a tough decision and a tough call for Jim Harbaugh, who is supposedly garnering NFL interest again.
Well, I mean, it's 50-50 to me. I mean, if he went to the NFL, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. If he stayed at Michigan, I wouldn't be surprised. So it's a tough call. I mean, there are NFL teams going to call for him. I think they did have a breakthrough season at Michigan, but it's a really tough call because you saw how much more talent Georgia had. All that, and I think it would take another 4 to 5 years for Michigan to get to that point. Now they can compete for Big Ten championships, but can they compete for national championships? In a 14 playoff, it's going to be difficult.
Since we're talking about college football, I do want to ask you this, and it's something we have talked a lot about down here in SEC country, and that is Texas A&M getting $20 to $30 million in name, image, and likeness to help secure the number one recruiting class in the country. Thoughts on name, image, and likeness changing the landscape of college football?
I don't think it's changed it that much yet. I mean, the powers are still doing. I think the transfer portal had a bigger impact on college football than the NIL so far. I mean, NIL guys are getting paid, and it's a good thing, but there's a lot to it. And, I think Texas and Texas A&M certainly are going to have a lot of opportunities given that state, the wealth in that state, and how serious they take their college football. But in year one, I mean, it doesn't register with me as much, at least not yet.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's gonna be something that's going to be regulated eventually by the powers that be, whether it be the NCAA or Congress. But it's something, it's having an impact. But I don't think it's changing the landscape to the degree some have said. I mean, congrats to Texas A&M on that recruiting class, but you still have to translate it to the field. The transfer portal, I think, is the bigger issue too, and Alabama's already had success there, and we'll see if it continues. Well, Bill, we appreciate it. It's great to catch up with you. Let everybody know how they can follow your coverage live tonight from Lucas Oil Stadium, and look forward to it.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'll be at Bill Bender 92, and on Twitter, that's where I'm at sportingnews.com. We're excited. I mean, we're going to do our thing and get it going tonight. This is what it's all about. Getting one down the season down and getting the opportunity to cover one of these. I never take those for granted, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, thanks for making it in the heart of the country and in cold country as well. This has just been an exceptional 3 days. Nothing like covering a title game with ice, snow, and cold. We've hit the trifecta this weekend.
That we call that Tuesday.
No doubt.
I miss you guys. Let's talk more often this offseason.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Yes,
man.
we will.
We certainly will. Thank you, Bill. Bill Bender of the Sporting News joining us right now. And I know, hey, I just got some good news. Brian Flores fired with the Dolphins.
Really?
I got 2 words for you. Brian Dable. Hurry up, get it done. Building around Tua Tagovailoa. But Brian Flores is done at Miami. They didn't understand offense. You can maybe, defensively they were solid. You could retain his defensive coordinator, but they need a head football coach and a staff that understand offensive football. I don't think they did in Miami.
Right.
And the owner needs to zip it, shut it, and hire Brian Dable and let him do his thing and build around Tua Tagovailoa. Stop all this Deshaun Watson garbage and try to win some football games with the draft capital that they've got.
Well, I think the Deshaun Watson rumors, that was from the owner.
Yeah,
I don't think that was the GM. That wasn't from Brian Flores. I think he was in a rock and a hard place, and the hard place caught up to him. All right, let's get our break in. When we come back, your tomorrow's headlines today and our predictions out the door as we're from the Uptown Cafe in Noblesville.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
We're beginning to wind things down pretty quick now. Our last reported accident was 72 in Moores Mill. That one was on the westbound side, reported with an injury. They've been checking the traffic signal indicator at Central and the Beltline. Are you over 35 and overweight? 7 different hormones can make it impossible for you to lose weight. Find out with the free quiz at 2030huntsville.com. Captain Nick in the Jordan Lane Popeyes Skywatch Traffic Center.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Hill and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Looking for a great deal? Well, I've got one for you. Tom Abraham here for Valley Equipment Rental. And at Valley Equipment, if you rent after 3 on a Friday or on a Saturday morning, you're not due back until Monday morning. So basically, you're getting the entire weekend for the price of one day. And if you're in the service or are a vet, they'll knock another 10% off. Valley Equipment is locally owned and involved in our community through charities and even supporting local teams. And soon they'll have a second location to handle even more equipment. Stay tuned for info on where that will be and when it will open.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
Who hasn't felt protective lately of our families, our communities, our resources? In times like these, we all fight to make sure our people are safe. But at the American Cancer Society, our people, our community, our family is made up of millions of cancer patients and their families. So keeping them safe takes everyone's help. During COVID-19, help us keep vital resources available to cancer patients. Please donate to the American Cancer Society at cancer.org.
Take your taste buds back in time with a trip to the all-new Bubbies Diner, offering a variety of mouth-watering food from delicious starters to 50-style diner food and meat-and-free meals, featuring owner and Huntsville native Chris Bubby Belcher's family's homemade recipes. Open Monday through Saturday for breakfast, lunch, and dinner at 8412 Whitesburg Drive or Gibson's Barbecue. Drive-in, drive-through, carry-out, or curbside pickup with delivery coming soon through Grub South. Bubbies Diner, home of the donut burger.
Ann Adams with
Bama-Bino.
If you're buying or selling real estate with years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com. You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our SportsMed specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives.
Hometown Lenders was founded right here in North Alabama on old school principles. We like to call them the 4 Ps. The best products, the best processes, competitive pricing, and of course, the best people. It's why we're one of America's fastest growing mortgage lenders. We're now adding a 5th P, the Hometown Promise. If we don't close on time, you don't pay a dime. Yes, you heard that right. On time, every time, or we refund 100% of our fees.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating. So you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does. And they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
Have you ever found exactly the right new car or truck with the exact features that you want and nothing else? Well, at Woody Anderson Ford, we can promise you just that. Hey, Bobby White back again, and you can now factory order your new Ford today, and you'll get your new car or truck exactly the way you want it. And there's no extra cost to custom order. Plus, you get $1,000 off MSRP on top of any additional factory rebates. This applies to 2021 F-150, Explorer, Ranger, and Expedition. It's a win-win with a custom order at Woody Anderson Ford. You get the colors, the features, and the options that fit your life. Plus, you get notified when it's built, shipped, and ready to deliver. Listen, buying a new car or truck is likely the second largest investment you'll ever make. So why settle? Get exactly what you want with a custom factory order today and get $1,000 off MSRP. See how at WoodyAndersonFord.com or at the corner of Jordan Lane and Sparkman Drive. Hope to see you soon.
You know the crowd is ready. The top-ranked Alabama Crimson Tide. The third-ranked Georgia Bulldogs. You ready? The College Football National Championship, presented by AT&T. Our coverage of the National Championship game on 97.7 ESPN The Zone is brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, Hometown Lenders, Valley Equipment Rental, North Alabama Mortgage, Bubbies Diner, and by TOC. Listen to all the coverage and game right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. This segment of Talkin Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com. It's time for tomorrow's headlines today with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Indeed, welcome back to Talking Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond with you for just a few more minutes, coming to you live from Noblesville, Indiana, sitting here in the Uptown Cafe. Great food, phenomenal food here at the Uptown Cafe. Great breakfast joint, so much so that when you wake up tomorrow morning and you're making your way into work, coming off the national championship game, all groggy because it's going to be a late night, we're going to be right back here tomorrow morning to do Talking Ball before we head back to the Rocket City here at Uptown Cafe. We liked it so much, we're just going to double down and do it again here tomorrow morning. It is your tomorrow's headlines today. Big thanks to Hometown Lenders, SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery Spine Center, our good friend Arthur Seaton over at University Kia.
Heated seats.
For giving us a vehicle with heated seats and a heated steering wheel. Okay, first of all, I did not know that a lot of cars had heated steering wheels and didn't understand, okay, why do we don't need this. Understand why you need a heated steering wheel up here?
Oh, hell
because when we get in that car and you're driving and your hands are nice and warm because it's cold outside, feels great. Heated seats, feels great. So big thanks to Arthur Seaton and the gang at University Kia for keeping our tails and our hands warm during this trip. And Woody Anderson Ford as well. West Neighbors, big part of why we're here up here in Indiana, and Woody Anderson Ford helping us, and West Neighbors with the drive as well. But still, we have had a phenomenal thing. And John Kendall over at Hometown Lenders, man, when we told him we were coming here, easy sell for Hometown Lenders. And if you need a good loan, you need something, get to Hometown Lenders and let John Kendall and company take care of you. And if you're hurting or aching, SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, they are there for you as well. Drew, you mentioned Brian Flores out as Dolphins head coach. Jim Nagy out as Matt Nagy out as Chicago Bears head coach. It is Black Monday in the NFL, and I tell you what, people here in Indianapolis yesterday felt like it was Black Sunday because we were watching all these Colts fans. Yesterday react to Indianapolis losing one at Jacksonville. Let me tell you, that was a a sight to behold, watching Colt fans have to suffer through that one yesterday.
Yep, and then it's expected, and this could be a domino that affects Alabama, because after this game, at the very least, Jay Valai, the cornerbacks coach for the University of Alabama, is going to be headed to Oklahoma to work, for Brent Venables.
Yes.
And the entire coaching staff of the Minnesota Vikings and the GM just got fired. So now we'll see where they go. But Carl Scott was the cornerbacks coach for Minnesota. He had a lot of success at Alabama, and he could replace Jay Valai. He could come back for a second tenure. He's an outstanding recruiter. Valai didn't close on the recruiting trail really well in his 1 year in Tuscaloosa. So could Carl Scott be headed back to Alabama? We will see. But certainly they got a game to play tonight, the biggest game of the year, the clash of the Titans, the two best teams in America from the best conference. Sorry, I mean we love Noblesville, Indiana here, and we know this is Big Ten country, but the SEC is king, and we're going to see it inside a great venue tonight at Lucas Oil Stadium. This is my first time in there. I'm looking forward to that. A great place to settle this college football season, and luckily, as we've been referencing all day, it's frigid here, but we will be in the friendly inside confines of Lucas Oil Stadium.
Now, it is all over Twitter. Obviously, we talked about Brian Flores out as Dolphins owner or Dolphins head coach. Stephen Ross, Pete Thamel saying, just throwing it out in the air, Stephen Ross has been a longtime admirer of Jim Harbaugh.
He has, and he's also one of the biggest boosters for the Michigan Wolverines. So I'm sure Harbaugh will be someone they're interested in. They need to hire Brian Dable, get a clue, understand Brian Dable, work with Tua Tagovailoa. He understands how good Tua is. He can build around Tua. Jim Harbaugh is more of a guy that's committed to the running game. His quarterbacks have always kind of been, game manager types, even though he had Andrew Luck at Stanford. If you look at it, though, he hasn't developed quarterbacks. You're trying to develop Tua Tagovailoa. To me, Brian Dable, if you do your research, he's a Bill Belichick guy. He's helped Josh Allen reach heights at Buffalo. They've become a contender, a division champion, a Super Bowl pick by some people, the Buffalo Bills. So to me, you go get Brian Dable and then get you a solid defensive coordinator. If you don't retain Brian, the current DC under Flores, go out, hire someone because the defense is there. I think that's the one thing Flores did do is build a defense, but you need somebody to build around Tua. Stop this Deshaun Watson garbage. You've got a really good young quarterback. You've got some draft capital to build around him. You've got Jalen Waddle now. You've got Devontae Parker. You've got Gesicki. Get some offensive line in there. Continue to fortify the running game. It's called James Cook or Brian Robinson, who's ever there in the third round, folks. Clear your brain, do your research, and draft a good running back. And then again, hire a head coach that can work with the QB and build an offense, because that's what Miami needs. Hopefully Stephen Ross will not get away and hire a good football guy, a head coach, to win, because the Dolphins have a chance to be good. They're on the cusp, but if you make the wrong decision, you're going to Tua will not develop, and then you're going to be back where you started.
All right, if you are hearing our voice right now, you still have time to get in your car, drive from Huntsville to Indianapolis for tonight's national championship game. I know there are people leaving town today. It's about a 5-hour drive from Huntsville, so you have plenty of time. In case you are wondering, the average get-in price for a ticket tonight is hovering anywhere between $450 to $500. That is the minimum entry price right now for a ticket into tonight's national championship game. Now, a hotel is going to run you a whole lot more. The average price right now for a hotel in Indianapolis is anywhere between $400 to $1,000.
I was told it's a 3-night minimum, $500 a night. Most places.
Average price of gas, $3.20. So if you're heading up from Huntsville,
thanks, Joe.
Here's what you do. Stop in Louisville, get a room, come to the game, drive back to Louisville, and then go home. That's what you do, okay?
And then you join us at Uptown Cafe.
But bring plenty of warm clothes because it's cold-ass cold here right now, okay?
Yeah, it's cold.
It's cold-ass cold. Got to have a heated steering wheel.
This is somebody that grew up in Iowa.
Yes, I don't like it now. I may have grown up there, but I got a lot of that warm blood in me now, and I don't like it. All right, big thanks to Uptown Cafe. Huge thanks to Uptown Cafe.
Chris Landry and Bill Bender, we appreciate their time this morning. Thank you to Uptown Cafe. We're about to have some great food.
Yes.
We'll be on Facebook coming up at 1:30, and I'll be on the Chuck Oliver
5
show
seconds.
later this morning.
All right, guys. See you tomorrow.
Looking for a great deal? Well, I've got one for you. Tom Abraham here for Valley Equipment Rental. And at Valley Equipment, if you rent after 3 on a Friday or on a Saturday, you're not due back until Monday morning. So basically, you're getting the